Today, we will be beating every Mario Kart game. And I know what you may be saying. What classifies beating Mario Kart? Well, I made a list of objectives that we will have to hit. So, to beat a Mario Kart game is to get gold trophy on every CC. So that means 50, 100, and 150 CC will have to be completed. This does not include additional CCs in races that appear after completion, such as mirrored mode. Also, if you see this little pop-up here, this is a website called Retro Achievements, which is all done by volunteers to bring achievements to consoles and games that never had them before. So, if this video gets 50 likes, I will 100% every single Mario Kart game that has achievements. This video may take a while, so I'll leave chapters so you can skip around to your favorite game or so you can come back later and get right back to where you started. Please drop a like and subscribe as it helps me an insane amount. Go ahead, grab your snacks, grab your food, grab your drink, grab your bev, get tucked up in bed if you want to fall asleep to this video, and enjoy the ride. We are starting with Super Mario Kart, released on September 1st, 1992 in the good old America. Super Mario Kart was wildly different than many other racing games at the time. There wasn't a monkey throwing bananas or a turtle throwing turtle shells at you. Unlike the other racing games at the time, which focused on single-player racing with more complicated tracks, Super Mario Kart was focused on 2 players and was designed to be an easy and intuitive just pick up and play experience that heavily involves the use of items on an obstacle course-like track that can either make or break a player's progress. This game features 4 cups with 5 courses, which have Mushroom Cup with Mario Circuit 1, Donut Plains 1, Ghost Valley 1, Bowser Castle 1, and Mario Circuit 2. Flower Cup has Choco Island 1, Ghost Valley 2, Donut Plains 2, Bowser Castle 2, and Mario Circuit 3. Star Cup with Koopa Beach 1, Choco Island 2, Vanilla Lake 1, Bowser Castle 3, and Mario Circuit 4. And last but not least, Special Cup with Donut Plains 3, Koopa Beach 2, Ghost Valley 3, Vanilla Lake 2, and Rainbow Road, baby! 50cc was a walk in the park, so we will take our time to familiarize ourselves with the game while I complete 50cc. So, my personal experience with Mario Kart started with Mario Kart Double Dash, released on the GameCube, which we will get to in the future. And while I have played Super Mario Kart via the Wii Virtual Console way back when, I haven't really played more than maybe 1 cup before, so this is pretty much a fresh playthrough. We have 6 characters to choose from, like Mario Peach, Princess Peach, otherwise known as Princess, Yoshi, Bowser, who? Koopa Troopa, and Toad. This guy right here isn't just your normal Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong that you're used to. This is Donkey Kong Jr. Yeah, just doesn't make sense, right? And this will be the last time we will be seeing this man in Mario Kart. While yes, I understand that the Mario universe hasn't really built up its roster yet, it was a rather interesting choice to use Donkey Kong Jr. as a character. Otherwise, each character in this roster is a really good choice, and has been in pretty much every Mario Kart game other than Koopa Troopa, who did miss a game or 2, but he must have been sick or something, As you can see, it's very interesting to see that this game is always split-screen game. The reason this is the way it is due to what I mentioned before. This game was meant for 2-player races in mind, so while it is jarring for the first time if you're not used to split-screen Mario Kart, I do really like the interactive map showing the full course in a top-down view, and the models just going around. Only issue is that the models are huge and don't really help me at all. I do really enjoy having the feature of if there's an item being thrown from a racer behind you, the bottom screen instantly shows behind, giving a warning that an item is being thrown at you. I believe that the game overall has aged, but in a way that's still charming. With the art style of the main menu and general graphics, the game controls generally well until you hit something that we call a turn. While you can make these turns with ease at times, it is generally known in the gaming community, not just Mario Kart, that if you do not drift, you look like a 90-year-old grandmother. But in Super Mario Kart, drifting is something that could win or lose you the race at times. In other games, I can easily drift around corners like I'm the baby driver himself. But in this game, I could go, all right, let's go ahead and hit this 35 degree. Oh, yeah, I might have accidentally just killed Luigi. Drifting is something so satisfying, and while back in the olden days of 1992, players never really understood the euphoria it gives to hit a drift around a corner. But it seems that the drifting is only used for 90 degrees angles itself. It's massively safer as a new player to take your time and let off the gas and safely turn. But if I do a safe turn, it'll give that Yoshi behind you that's been following you since the beginning of your life has the chance to pass you. Well, it wouldn't matter at all if I hit every speedrunning, teleporting across the map glitch before the racers in this game cheats to the point that the Mario Kart name is known for being unfair, and this is what we call rubber banding. Rubber banding is made to make it so that even if you are advanced in the game and you can hit, a skip or two, there is still a little bit of competition, but in this game it does not matter. You can have mushrooms back to back to back. You are the luckiest man of all time. You constantly hit enemies with green shells and bananas, and they'll be still on your tail. And while I understand that the game wouldn't want to be too easy, at some points it is super blatant and honestly overkill, including enemies having special items that you yourself cannot use. Somehow Mario and Luigi can just go invincible. And even though I am playing as Luigi, I can't go invincible unless I have a star. But they can do it whenever they feel without hitting an item box. The items, or the hazards in this game is insane. To the point that I can, it could also ruin your race sometimes if you get hit with it. You get jockey pounced by Monty Mole, fall in the water, a thwomp can stomp you. The issue with this game is that the hazards take too long to recover from at times. When I have seen the AI themselves go through the thwomp multiple times. But that doesn't mean you don't have anything to defend yourself with, like bananas, red shells, and green shells. The mushroom, on the other hand, is amazing if you don't mind the absolute power this thing brings. You could go from 30 miles per hour to 88 miles per hour for a few seconds, which can run you off the course on many maps. So you have to think very strategically on using that item. Now, the one item that does show up in this game, and this game alone, is the feather. And honestly, it can either be the best item in the game or the worst item, depending on the usage of shortcuts in certain maps. Some of them you can skip almost an entire quarter of the map. In some of them, there's no shortcuts. So the feather is very hit or miss. This game is where it takes a total 180 for me. 50cc was insanely easy. It just felt like I was playing Mario Kart, like normal, you know? Well, here's the issue, all right? This game, when you hit 100cc, remember, the AI I mentioned, the hazards, I mentioned the drifting, I mentioned all of those things ruined my races to the point that 100cc alone took me nearly 7 whole hours to complete. Now, I do have something to admit. After all that time, I could not complete the Special Cup that's achieved by completing the previous courses on 100cc. I will have to come back to this later, so please keep watching if you would like to watch me suffer more. The Nintendo 64, where the SNES emulated 3D with moving backgrounds. This brought actual 3D right to you. The insane advancement in technology and the fact that instead of 2 controller ports now, we have, that's right, 4 controller ports. Now, instead of you and your neighbor, now you can have the whole neighborhood come for fun. If only they added something that had, let's think, maybe go-karts and an Italian, what the hell? They did it! Mario Kart 64 is the second game in the franchise where the modern Mario Kart feel has started. Mario Kart 64 released February 10th, 1997 in the good old US of A. And while the game advances a lot in the series, this is all it has. Granted, all of these maps are contenders to be like the best maps in the franchise. It does seem to be a bit lackluster. Now, for the characters, we have an actual roster with Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser. Wario and Donkey Kong being the newcomers and mainstays in the franchise. We sadly don't have Koopa Troopa, but it won't kill you to not play him. The tracks here are simple with a much easier sense of determining the distance, as it is 3D now. One thing that isn't 3D, technically, is the characters. The characters are just flat images that have taken from actual 3D models. 64 has had every item return except for the feather and the coins. But in return, they added many items that are also mainstays in Mario Kart nowadays, like the triple mushrooms, super mushrooms, the fake item boxes, the triple green shells and red shells, the triple bananas, and then the blue shell. While not as terrifying as the future titles that we will get to in the next few minutes, it is still terrifying to see it pop up on your screen. Another advancement that 64 added was how it controlled, and while yes, the game plays so much better than Super Mario Kart, there are times that drifting can function either really smooth or can end up like Super Mario Kart and turn way too sharp. But you do get a boost for pulling this off correctly. This means that you are incentivized to drift so you can clear the race faster or get into first faster and get in the lead. But scarily enough, 150cc, you can spin out by turning too quickly. But in my opinion, you do have to pretty much jerk the wheel to end up doing that. This game also suffers from cheating AI mentioned in Super Mario Kart. This time, instead of 1 or 2, it seems to be up to 4 other racers, with one always being super far in front if you are not locked in. I do enjoy how the cup starting from Mushroom Cup to Special goes from easiest to hardest instead of just randomly adding hard courses in. But speaking of cups, let's get into the maps that we do have. We have Mushroom Cup with Luigi Raceway, Moo Moo Farm, Koopa Troopa Beach, and Calamari Desert. The Flower Cup has Toad's Turnpike, Frappe Snowland, Choco Mountain, and Mario Raceway. Star Cup with Wario Stadium, Sherbert Island, Royal Raceway, and Bowser's Castle. And last but not least, Special Cup that has DK's Jungle Parkway, Yoshi Valley, Banshee Boardwalk, and Rainbow Road. All of them I highly enjoy, but the main ones I love is Moo Moo Farm, Royal Raceway, and Toad's Turnpike. Rainbow Road is one of my favorite ones just for the aesthetic, but takes an entirely normal race just for one lap. 50cc for me was also really easy, and 100cc, while it had its moments, was overall easy too, but 150cc had a lot of moments to where the AI was doing its thing I mentioned and made some runs end out of pure unfairness. Mario Kart Super Circuit, the only game that I have never touched, while also being the one game that I touched that ended up being really easy for me for some reason. I mean, seriously, every CC I pretty much beat first try. So I'll keep this one short and I'll talk about the game in ways that, the title screen, I love so much. It has so much joy, and while the graphics have downgraded because, well, it's on a Game Boy Advanced, it does have a really cute art style that I love. A strange feeling of having the art overly done a bit is in a charming way, actually. Now, the gameplay, it's just Super Mario Kart, but polished. We've gone back to 2D, boys. It keeps a lot of the same items and characters from 64, but it doesn't add anything new other than the tracks. So think of these two games having a baby. See, while it doesn't add anything new or interesting, it is easily the most forgettable. It has its own style that the others haven't really matched. Now, I will say, this game has a lot of tracks. Kinda. See, it has the 5 basic cups with 4 tracks each, but then they ported the entirety of Super Mario Kart into here as extra tracks, so otherwise known as currently retro tracks. So technically this is the first game with retro tracks. I did not complete these as they were not offered until everything was initially completed, and technically these are just complete one-to-one creations of Super Mario Kart. While each map has a stunning art style and plays really smoothly, otherwise it's just Super Mario Kart on a Game Boy Advance. That's all I really have to say. Now this is where little Mr. E.T. started his entire Mario Kart journey. Mario Kart Double Dash. This was released in November 17th, 2003 in the US, and ended up bringing a feature that would never return and a driving style that has never been replicated since. This game features 2 playable characters on one kart. That's right, you can play as Mario and Luigi at the same time. It may sound a little complicated, but let me explain real quick. So let's say you did pick Mario and Luigi. You had a Mario in the driver's seat and Luigi on the back. Luigi was the one that handled the items and actually drifted the car by leaning into the direction you steer, while Mario went pedal to the metal and steered the wheel. With those 2 characters, you also get to have 2 entirely separate items. Now, if you only played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you may think that's just normal Mario Kart. But this has never been done before and actually ends up being something completely different than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Each character grants specialized items. For example, Toad can provide special mushrooms, Koopa can give you triple shells, Mario and Luigi gives fireballs, and Bowser gives a giant shell. Other characters give other items, but I don't want to bombard with information on just this one topic. With that being said, you are entirely locked to the items that Luigi has on the back of the cart. You can swap seats for strategy. You aren't really locked to just using whatever the first item is that you have in front of you. You can just swap and then use the second item, so you can use the mushroom before the green shell or vice versa. The racing here feels insanely smooth, but all the carts have some type of insane suspension, and sometimes making the car seem very bouncy and reacts fluidly to the terrain. So going down that rocky hill on DK Mountain, get ready to hold on for dear life, trying not to smack into a wall or fly off a cliff. And while a lot of people despise this style of racing, I absolutely love it. Choosing the different racers and even the different karts provide wildly different stats to bring in different types of playstyles. Heavy, medium, and light characters have already been in the game since Super Mario Kart, but it hasn't really been important until now. So picking the right characters and karts for your style of racing is very beneficial. Especially with item combos coming into play also, this game requires a lot of strategy while also being a game all families can love and enjoy. While recording 100 and 150cc, I encountered power outages that caused me to not record gameplay, so sadly I only have 50cc footage, but I promise you, I did complete it. Now, let's get into the map selection here. So currently, we have 4 cups. We have Luigi Circuit, Peach Beach, Baby Park, Dry Desert, Mushroom Bridge, Mario Circuit, Daisy Cruiser, Waluigi Stadium, Sherbert Land, Mushroom City, Yoshi Circuit, DK Mountain, Wario Coliseum, Dino Jungle, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. All of these cups, after unlocking all 4 of these cups, the All Cup Tour becomes available, which is a Grand Prix featuring all 16 courses. And the All Cup Tour always starts with Luigi Circuit and ends with Rainbow Road, with the other 14 courses appearing in random order. 150cc is absolutely terrifying with the suspensions on these karts and just how the game plays. There will be many times you will bounce and be slung off-road into the grass or even off the edge of a cliff. I also really do like the selection of characters in this game. We have Mario, Peach, Luigi, Daisy, Yoshi, Birdo, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Toad, Toadette, Koopa Troopa, Koopa Paratroopa, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Bowser Jr., Bowser, Wario, Waluigi, with Petey Piranha and King Boo being given after completing All Cup on 100 and 150cc. And with that being said, it seems we've ended up completing Mario Kart Double Dash, and now it's on to the next game. Alright, so this one I have fond memories of. Mario Kart DS, released on November 14th, 2005 in the US, and is one of my favorite games as it started bringing a lot of social aspects of Mario Kart that hasn't really been seen before. For example, customizing icons on your kart by drawing with your stylus. Granted, this would be probably terrible nowadays, and I really want to see this coming back to gaming in general, but have you seen Twitter? Anywho, the wireless play that the DS provided also for certain games, including this game, made those bus rides in the morning or afternoon or even going to a field trip was insanely fun. This game also brought in that good old mission mode that everybody misses, and thankfully Mario Kart World will be bringing that back in. Also, it is time to change some rules for this challenge. I am running out of time insanely fast. I couldn't play for a few days due to family coming over to celebrate my birthday, and I am moving soon, so my time is insanely tight. So we will change the rules after this game to where I will only have to do whatever the fastest CC is, but I will still need to get gold medal on the cups, so it wouldn't be fair to you all if I didn't struggle just a little bit. Mario Kart DS plays like Mario Kart, of course. The formula after this one, after this specific one, relatively stays the same from now on with small additions. We have our general roster of Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser, with some newcomers including Dry Bones, Rob, and Shy Guy, which was only used for the DS download play users. Rob was a very interesting pick here due to it being just a wildly absurd character from the NES, and is interestingly enough just a whole controller. I love the addition to him, but from a reference standpoint, but overall it just doesn't make sense, and we won't be seeing him anymore after this game. We do have plenty of maps to go through, so let's get to it. Mushroom Cup had Figure 8 Circuit, Yoshi Falls, Cheep Cheep Beach, Luigi's Mansion. Flower Cup had Desert Hills, Delfino Square, Waluigi Pinball, Shroom Ridge. Star Cup had DK Pass, TikTok Clock, Mario Circuit, and Airship Fortress. Special Cup had Wario Stadium, Peach Gardens, Bowser Castle, and Rainbow Road. These are all new maps and are very fun, with Waluigi Pinball being my favorite map in the entire franchise. But we now currently have courses in the game that are from previous games known as retro courses, which have appeared in prior games, but not like this. We have SNES Mario Circuit 1, GBA Peach Circuit, GameCube Luigi Circuit, and N64 Moo Moo Farm. Banana Cup has SNES Donut Plains 1, N64 Frappe Snowland, GBA Bowser Castle 2, and GameCube Baby Park. Leaf Cup has SNES Cooper Beach 2, Game Boy Advance Luigi Circuit, N64 Choco Mountain, and GameCube Mushroom Bridge, with Lightning Cup giving us SNES Choco Island 2, GBA Sky Garden, is N64 Banshee Boardwalk, and GameCube Yoshi Circuit. Now, this game also features a new style of drifting that's been slowly coming back to Mario games, but not as obvious in this game, which is something known as snaking. When you drift, you press left and right in the right timing, and you can very quickly obtain the fastest mini turbo. And this technique is used by many veterans in the Mario Kart franchise and also Mario Kart DS speedrunners, due to how quickly you can finish a race if you are persistent with this skill. This game also brings in some very interesting designs with the karts. Each character gets its own signature kart and regular basic go-kart. The AI in this game aren't as aggressive as in previous games, which is really nice, but can be a pain sometimes, bringing close moments or even rigged moments at times, but nowhere near as bad as previous Mario Kart games. And with that, it seems we have completed Mario Kart DS. And now to the next. All right. And then we have the fan favorite Mario Kart Wii, which was released on April 27th, 2008, and is known as, if not the best Mario Kart game in the franchise. While I do enjoy how hectic this game is, the speed, the items, the karts, and everything else, something just doesn't click for me to make this my favorite game of all time. This game does include very notable features, including bikes, only on 150cc, interestingly enough, and tricking. Motorcycles provide very sharp turns, which can either drive you into a wall or perform some insanely satisfying drifts and wheelies. These wheelies provide a speed boost, which ended up being insanely busted in online mode. Yes, the online mode, where the spirit of Funky Kong with the Bowser bike combo still haunts the Wii servers to this day. This game also ended up bringing a lot of characters to the roster, including Baby Mario, Baby Peach, Toad, Koopa Troopa, Mario, Luigi, Peach and Yoshi, Wario, Waluigi, Donkey Kong, and Bowser, with unlockable characters being Baby Daisy, Baby Luigi, Dry Bones, Toadette, Birdo, Diddy Kong, Bowser Jr., me, King Boo, Rosalina, Funky Kong, and Dry Bowser. While Mario Kart also, looked really good, it always had this strange feeling to me visually. Being that the game looks like you just slapped a plastic shiny coat all over the characters, this game doesn't feel as bright and or as vibrant as Mario Kart Double Dash, but it still has its charm in some aspects of the game. I just find it weird that Mario Kart Double Dash tends to look better in many points than Mario Kart Wii, but I digress. Here are the courses we are racing on. We have Luigi Circuit, Moo Moo Meadows, Mushroom Gorge, and Toad's Factory for the Mushroom Cup. The Flower Cup has Mario Circuit, Coconut Mall, DK Summit, which is also known as DK Snowboard Cross in certain regions. So if you heard of DK Summit and said, what the hell? Different regions. And Wario's Gold Mine. Star Cup has Daisy Circuit, Koopa Cape, Maple Treeway, Grumble Volcano. And Special Cup has Dry Dry Ruins, Moon View Highway, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. Now we also have the Retro Grand Prix, which has courses from previous games. The Shell Cup has GameCube Peach Beach, Yoshi Falls from Mario Kart DS, Ghost Valley 2 from Super Mario Kart, Mario Raceway from Mario Kart 64, the Banana Cup with Sherbert Island from Mario Kart 64, Shy Guy Beach from Mario Kart Super Circuit, Delfina Square from Mario Kart DS, Waluigi Stadium from Mario Kart Double Dash. Leaf Cup has Desert Hills from Mario Kart DS, Bowser Castle from Mario Kart Super Circuit, DK's Jungle Parkway from Mario Kart 64, and Mario Circuit from Mario Kart Double Dash. The Lightning Cup also has Mario Circuit from Super Mario Kart, Peach Gardens from Mario Kart DS, DK Mountain from Mario Kart Double Dash, and Bowser's Castle from Mario Kart DS. This game gave us another one of my favorite maps, Coconut Mall. The music and the thought of seeing Mario crashing into pretty much every store at a mall is just perfect. The game's AI also loves to bully me at times. The AI loves to hit me with the red, a green shell, run into me with the star, and then the blue shell in this game absolutely terrifies me in more ways than none. It tracks you down by flying over others to make sure you get hit no matter what. All of these can happen in a matter of seconds, at times with all items hitting you somehow back to back to back. I've ended up having to retry certain cups on this game multiple times due to how absurdly powerful items can be in this game. But we finally did complete Mario Kart Wii. So now, on to the next one. Mario Kart 7. Man, I remember receiving my blue 3DS with a copy of Mario Kart 7 and, strangely enough, a Garfield game for the original DS. I remember also eating a mozzarella stick and then almost choking to death playing that Garfield game. I don't know why I said that, I just thought that you guys would like that. Anywho, Mario Kart 7 released on 3DS on December 4th, 2011. And man, do I feel like I remember a lot of this game, but I end up feeling like I've never played this game before at some points. This game brought a new feature that seems to have stuck and become a fan favorite that I would have never thought would be in the game in the first place. Gliding. Gliding by hitting a specific boost pad provides a glider that can be used to skip portions of a track and glide over major obstacles. This game also brought customization of the carts, so now you can pick and choose the wheels, the cart body, and glider to make your own combo if you're liking, which can either be for fashion or for the best statistics. Kart building separates the kids from the men, providing a massive advantage over others if done correctly. This game also provides a first-person driving mode, so that never came back. Oh, yeah, and racing underwater. That is super fun, but it feels insanely floaty, which kind of makes sense because you're underwater. But, alright, let's see who our racers are. Mario Kart 7 features a total of 17 playable characters. This includes some returning favorites and some new faces to the series at the time. So, the starting characters has Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Toad, and Koopa Troopa, with the unlockable characters being Daisy, Wario, Rosalina, Metal Mario, Shy Guy, Honey Queen, Wiggler, Lakitu, and me. With the races being Mushroom Cup having Toad Circuit, Daisy Hills, Cheep Cheep Lagoon, and Shy Guy Bazaar. Flower Cup having Woohoo Loop, Mario Circuit, Music Park, Rock Rock Mountain. Star Cup having Piranha Plant Slide, Wario Shipyard, Neo Bowser City, and Maka Woohoo. Special Cup having DK Jungle, Rosalina's Ice World, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. The Retro Grand Prix, Grand Prix? Really? The Retro Grand Prix courses from previous games include the Shell Cup with N64 Luigi Raceway, Game Boy Advance Bowser Castle, the Wii Mushroom Gorge, DS Luigi's Mansion. Banana Cup has N64 Koopa Beach, SNES Mario Circuit 2, the Wii Coconut Mall, and DS Waluigi Pinball, my beloved. The Leaf Cup has N64 Calamari Desert, DS DK Pass, the GameCube Daisy Cruiser, and the Wii Maple Treeway. Lightning Cup has Wii Koopa Cape, GameCube Dino Jungle, the DS Airship Fortress, and SNES Rainbow Road. Honestly, seeing Coconut Mall and Waluigi Pinball in the same cup just makes a grown man cry. Honestly, the only notable new map to me is Music Park, but a lot of the online, I've played a lot of online, but half of these maps I don't remember at all, and including 2 Wii Sports Resorts maps, which were honestly super awesome and weirdly nostalgic to me. I really enjoyed this game, but the gliding either has you nosediving or soaring into the sky if you don't control it correctly. This game controls how you expect a Mario Kart game to feel nowadays, and the AI has nothing to write home about. It just feels like Mario Kart, and it seems that we have one more Mario Kart to complete. Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 feels like I've been brought home after a long trip out of town. It just feels cozy and it just feels right. Now, I will say that I only did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe due to the fact that it includes all of Mario Kart 8 inside. This game provides so much bang for your buck, and it includes a brand new feature, which is zero gravity racing. You can now ride on walls, upside down, inside out if you really put your mind to it. I have been playing Mario Kart 8 ever since the Wii U released, and as soon as I got a Switch, I immediately bought Pokken Tournament DX. Yeah, it took me a few more months before I played more Mario Kart 8. But once I did, I was hooked. I genuinely 100%ed this game, raced online, and did pretty much everything you could except for 200cc, which was so daunting. So that's what we will be racing on today. And oh my God, it just feels so fluid and smooth to race on 200cc. And it is my new favorite way to race in Mario Kart 8. And with the new booster course pass, there is a lot to talk about. So let's immediately just go ahead and list off all of our racers. So we have, in the base game, Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, Yoshi, Toad, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Lakitu, Toadette, King Boo, Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Daisy, Baby Rosalina, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Wario, Waluigi, Lemmy Koopa, Larry Koopa, Wendy-O Koopa, Iggy Koopa, Roy Koopa, Morton Koopa Jr., Metal Mario, Peak, Gold Beach, Dry Bowser, Link, Villager male and female, Isabelle, Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, and the Mii. That doesn't even include the booster course pass characters, which have Birdo, Kamek, Petey Piranha, Wiggler, Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. This brings the total character count to 42, counting the multiple Miis as one character and including all of the extra DLC characters. The cups and courses, which include the base and boost course pass, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe initially had 16 cups, which was 32 courses, and the booster course pass doubled the course count by adding 12 new cups or 48 courses. This brings the grand total to 24 cups and 96 courses. We've got a lot to go through, so get ready. In the base game, we have Mushroom Cup with Mario Kart Stadium, Water Park, Sweet Sweet Canyon, and Thwomp Ruins. Flower Cup has Mario Circuit, Toad Harbor, Twisted Mansion, Shy Guy Falls. Star Cup with Sunshine Airport, Dolphin Shoals, Electrodome in Mount Wario. The Special Cup has Cloud Top Cruise, Bone Dry Dunes, Bowser's Castle in Rainbow Road. The Retro Courses in the base game has Wii Moo Moo Meadows, GBA Mario Circuit, DS Cheap Cheap Beach, N64 Toad's Turnpike. The Banana Cup had GameCube Dry Dry Desert, SNES Donut Plains 3, N64 Royal Raceway, and 3DS DK Jungle. The Leaf Cup had DS Wario Stadium, GameCube Sherbert Island, 3DS Music Park, N64 Yoshi Valley. Lightning Cup had DS TikTok Clock, Wii U Piranha Plant Slide, GameCube Grumble Volcano, and N64 Rainbow Road. We also had the DLC from Wii U that was included in Deluxe, like the Egg Cup that had GameCube Yoshi Circuit, its Psych Bike Arena, Dragon Driftway in Mute City, the Triforce Cup with Wii Wario's Gold Mine, SNES Rainbow Road, Ice Outpost in Hyrule Circuit, the Crossing Cup which had Baby Park, Game Boy Advanced Cheeseland, Wild Woods, and Animal Crossing, the Bell Cup which had 3DS Neo Bowser City, GBA Ribbon Road, Super Bell Subway, and Big Blue. Now, we haven't even touched the Booster Course Pass, which Wave 1 had Golden Dash Cup with Tour Paris Promenade, 3DS Toad Circuit, N64 Choco Mountain, and Wii Coconut Mall. We also had Lucky Cat Cup with Tour Tokyo Blur, DS Shroom Ridge, GBA Sky Garden, and Tour Ninja Hideaway. Wave 2 had the Turnip Cup, which had Tour New York Minute, SNES Mario Circuit 3, N64 Calamari Desert, and DS Waluigi Pinball, with the Propeller Cup being the Tour Sydney Spirit, the GBA Snow Land, the Wii Mushroom Gorge, and Sky High Sundae, which was an original. Wave 3 had the Rock Cup with Tour London Loop, GBA Boo Lake, Wii Maple Treeway, 3DS Rock Mountain. The Moon Cup had Tour Berlin Byways, DS Peach Gardens, Tour Merry Mountain, and 3DS Rainbow Road. Wave 4 had Fruit Cup, which had Tour Amsterdam Drift, GBA Riverside Park, Wii DK Summit, and Yoshi's Island, which is an original. The Boomerang Cup had Tour Bangkok Rush, DS Mario Circuit, GameCube Waluigi Stadium, and Tour Singapore Speedway. Wave 5 had Feather Cup with the Tour Athens Dash, the GameCube Daisy Cruiser, the Wii Moonview Highway, and the Squeaky Clean Sprint, which was an original. The Cherry Cup had Tour Los Angeles Laps, GBA Sunset Wilds, Wii Koopa Cape, and Tour Vancouver Velocity, with Wave 6 having the Acorn Cup, which had Tour Rome Avanti, the GameCube DK Mountain, the Wii Daisy Circuit, and the Piranha Plant Cove, which was also an original. And then finally, the Spiny Cup, Tour Madrid Drive, 3DS Rosalina's Ice World, SNES Bowser's Castle 3, and the Wii Rainbow Road. Yes, that is a lot, and I believe that this game gives you everything you would want and need in a Mario Kart game. I'm also worried that Mario Kart World will not live up to the expectations, that this is slammed full with just an insane amount of content. I do agree that while the Booster Course racers are insanely fun and the actual graphics of the track just seem off. I mean, they don't follow the original graphics or the art style. Like the grass, for example. If you look at the grass on Mario Circuit, it's insanely detailed. But if you look at the green grass in the Paris map, it's just green. The tour maps seem to wind you all around the place, and the only reason you know not to go a certain way is due to arrows. But even then, the track layout makes it somewhat difficult to follow the track that it would like for you to go. I highly do enjoy them, but these are just nitpicks. The online is mainly where I lived on Mario Kart 8. As the game, while yes, has serious networking issues at times, it does not make or break the game half the time. And the Mario Kart 8 community can be very supportive, helping with understanding the nitty-gritty ways this game works, like dodging blue shells, drift gliding, snaking, and many more techniques. Most of the tech you see in previous games have been involved and formed into this game, and I wouldn't want to see this game any other way. I want to give thanks to Nintendo and everybody that has worked on the Mario Kart franchise, but especially Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 brought me pure joy and fun for friends, family, loved ones. For the past nearly 11 years. Actually, at the time of recording, it has been exactly 11 years since Mario Kart 8 released. And that concludes the completion of every Mario Kart game in the franchise. Is there anything I missed? Anything that may or may not have been enjoyable? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite maps are, what your favorite characters are for each game. Please, I would love to know. I also had a really fun and frustrating time playing the franchise, but it just makes me all the more excited for Mario Kart World coming out in the next few days. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe, as it helps me a lot with the algorithm. And remember, 50 likes and I will 100% every Mario Kart game that has achievements. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one with the next generation of Mario Kart. Thank you.